Hello, everybody. This is Jennifer Jennings, your intuitive astrologer here in Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you so much for joining me again. We are in need of a come to the cosmic consciousness table. We are going through a difficult time. Some people are going through a more difficult time than others. This is a time of renewal. It is a time of reset. It is a time of choice with the spirit of truth. It is a paradigm shift. It is a shift on all types of levels. The earth is going through a polar magnetic shift, meaning the poles are going to end up joining and coming together. And this is what we are doing. We are going to join and come together. And we are going to rise in the age of Aquarius. Uranus rules Aquarius, the 11th house of community. Groups. Uranus is the visionary. Uranus knows. Without knowing how, Uranus just knows. This is a part of revelation, foreseen by the ancients because they studied the stars. Your programming has told you over and over again that you would be so naughty if you study the stars. Well, no, it really means just that you don't worship the stars. No, we have been programmed for a very long time of how to think, how to behave, what to believe, what not to believe. It's very symbolic that the Hebrew year, the Hebrew decade is the mouth. And what that means is if you don't have anything truthful to say, then you need to zip it. You need to have a closed mouth. But if you have truth, you need to speak it. It's very symbolic with everyone walking around wearing a mask today, worried about some virus that is definitely in the air. It's just not what you're told. It really is, because the electromagnetic shift that has taken place can be observed by the connection, the unified field of this electromagnetic field that we have with the earth and with the sun. There is this connection that we have. This magnetic field of the earth is very weak. The sun has been very weak. Your field's weak. Hence sickness. This feedback loop that goes into the earth and to the sun is evidence of what is really taking place. Uranus is about the truth pouring into you, that visionary. So you're going to have visions. You're going to have unctions, something that wants you to move and do something different, to come out of your comfort zone, because Uranus is a rebel. Uranus is different. Uranus is original for a reason, and it's virtuous. Uranus right now is in Taurus with Sedna. And if you want to know the rundown, go through Christ's chart, because during this time I have received the cosmic consciousness natal chart. This is where Uranus really gets innovative as far as what it is that we are going to begin anew. When Saturn and Jupiter come together in the great conjunction on the winter solstice on December 21st, 2020, right after that, on the 23rd, Jupiter is going to square Uranus. There's going to be a challenge for our future, because they're going to both be at 0-0, meaning there's going to be a new beginning. The Maya say that the renewal of the sun, that there will be a new sun. Cosmologists may think that our sun is going to go nova. Some people believe that we're just going to shift and that the whole landmass and water is going to shift. We're definitely going to see earth changes, more so than what we are seeing now. Birds dropping out of the sky, whales beaching. It has to do with our optics, what we see. This is paramount. Like, this is huge. It's not just something that I'm making up. Science is backing me up all the way. You can join me on Facebook and read his story the history of mankind's evolutionary consciousness back to God. It will not be long, and I'm going to start going into more depth of Jesus's chart on there. I have the whole playlist on here. This cosmic consciousness is calling on us to begin anew and make changes that are going to be beneficial for the sustainability of the future. Other astrologers will say, oh, this is about the technological age. No, Uranus is not about technology. Uranus has the squiggly lines for a reason. It's about the electromagnetic field. It's about the natural connection. Edgar Cayce even said Uranus is all about psychic connection. I have Uranus and Pluto in my 5th house of creativity in Libra. Children dying have taught me the things that I am teaching today. The Earth's resources are being called into question. How we are using the Earth's resources, how we are valuing one another, because Uranus is in Taurus. The judge is here taking stock about what it needs to shake up and change to have this sustainable future. And with all of the biological organisms being manipulated down to the molecular level and being radiated and heated up by all these towers, there is a lot of change that is going to take place. And if we do not take the initiative, it will be forced upon us. This is where we grow. This is where we evolve into the higher cosmic consciousness. We are all beings of light. We radiate naturally. But this flesh, the way that our system is built and the way that it is designed to give a feedback to the earth, to the sun. It is our protector. It is not unheard of for solar systems to have binary stars. And where we are going, where we are traveling in the solar system, we've been traveling here for 10,000 years. But where we are right now is on the edge. And this is where stars are born. This is where stars are resurrected. This is where we rise. This is where we begin anew. And we begin a new paradigm on Earth. These cycles have patterns. And these patterns are a language that has been used since the beginning of time. Your hopes and your wishes are going to be fulfilled. When you manifest in this type of environment that we have going on, and you call in your higher self and you ask to be used, and you get out of self and begin to think about the collective, man, Uranus will open you up. Your higher consciousness, this higher octave of Uranus, your magnetic field gets really protected. And it's no coincidence that your magnetic field extends 3 to 6 feet out. It's an arm's length. That's the reason why you're social distancing. This age that we're going into, the robots, we can choose to clone and to become this robotic slave. Most people today are robotic slaves in the flesh. So what does it really matter? What it does matter is your soul. Your soul, because you can either be reborn or you can just distinguish yourself from the whole drama. It's a choice. It's a huge choice that we're all making. To be original, like Uranus, is not to be popular, but it will be. It will be. Because that's the age that we're going into. There are massive changes that are coming upon us, guys. There's no political party that is for you. The one that was for you came, told a story, died, and they told a story. Now we can argue about Francis Bacon and all the editing and everything. That's an excuse. Open it up and read it. Francis Bacon was a genius. absolute genius. And to think that he was not inspired by God is not to have read his literary works. He was definitely inspired. And he hid most of his inspiration because of the status quo. Most of you will hide your true self because of the status quo. But this is the time. This is a time to spring forth all the new and innovative visions that you are having. Uranus is going to shake you up and force you to make these changes. Taurus is about pleasures, possessions. And this is a time that Sedna in Taurus is also screaming loudly, let go, let go. Let go and let your higher self. Let go and let God. The serpent in the garden is up here. The stone that the builders rejected, it's also up here. Health over wealth is what the Age of Aquarius is also about. Because healing comes from music, art, water, harmonics. Healing is a natural attribute that we all have within us. Collectively, when we come together and we agree, we can move mountains. We have been dumbed down for too long. And, Neptune likes to, in the Piscean age, Neptune will make a lot of sacrifices for the future. Neptune will cloud rose-colored glasses, not really allow you to see what you really need to see. But now Uranus, this precession, this Platonic year, this shifting of a paradigm of the higher consciousness, Uranus is definitely going to shake and move you until you are forced to be who you are truly called to be in this world. Because we are all here in number for a reason. And even though they are trying so hard to dwindle us down, the creative forces are much more powerful. And we have the ability, the potential to tap in to this power and truly raise the earth, raise her magnetic field, become one again with nature, and not manipulate our brother and sister to get over on them and to subdue them. This is about unity in division. This is about cooperation, collaboration, not division, not competition. The sacred air needs our attention. All the airwaves being so jam-packed with synthetic decay and information that's not going anywhere. That's the decay. It's a traffic jam, and we can't see it because it's a part of the magnetic field. But if you begin to look up in the skies and you see these gray, big, fat gray lines, we are going to start seeing things that we've never seen before. And they are going to try to continuously distract you. Continuously distract and conquer that's their MO. We have been slaves for too long. Christ dying on the cross symbolizes us all coming here with burdens that we have to bear. And each one of us have a burden that we have come in here with that we need to bear. We are going to have to rise in this way, follow that way, and not be dumbed down by the programming that has been told to us about what his story really means. Because what his story really means is the ending of slavery. It's the liberation of Saturn. It is the end of slavery and these governing bodies that are trying to further enslave us by injecting materials into our veins. And all of these towers, when they become weapons, just remember your higher consciousness and to call on it, because that is your true protector. It's no mask. Your magnetic field, your connection, your natural connection with God is your protector. God is real. I have many experiences that are not just make-believe. This time is crucial, and we have choices to make. And I hope that you understand that there is nothing to fear other than fear. Don't fear anything. It's already been planned. It's already been laid out. Your soul knows. Your soul knows why it's here. Your spirit knows why it's here. And it's to raise your soul. It's to lift your soul into light. Energize it. If we end up getting a flare from the sun, an asteroid coming in, major earthquakes, floods, don't fear. Trust and have faith in the plan. Because it can only go so far until God intervenes. The suffering can be less when you make a choice and you choose to follow the way, the true way for you. It doesn't have to be the Christ way. But know that that story has been embedded since the beginning of time. It's just the way that the story is told is wrong. He didn't come to save you. You will save yourself. You are your own savior. He gives you the spirit of truth. And that is what Uranus is all about. It's the spirit of truth. The judge, the mediator, is all about the truth. So help him God. When you lead with truth, you are leading others on the same path, and that path is very narrow. This is about the age of Aquarius, this shifting of the poles, this coming together of the polarities. It's another reason why people talk about twin souls, twin flames. It's because we are all initiating. Flame is an initiating. It's a cardinal. It's a fire. It's an action energy. And there's a lot of action energy that's taking place. And our pneuma, the air is sacred, and there is so much static in it from these towers, the 5G, the satellites. It's just too much going on. Man with science, without God, has no ethics, no boundaries. And we have crossed that boundary time and time again. And we do have a unified field theory that is really not a theory. It's a fact. We are all unified. We are all connected. And this connection is a natural connection. And this feedback loop is sending a feedback that it's time for an intervention. It's time for a come to Jesus meeting. Taurus is about your thyroid, your neck, your throat, sinuses. Uranus rules the circulatory system, your veins. The Piscean age is reflective of the 12th house and what the 12th house means, which is the gift of prophecy, the undoing. It's the house of undoing. It's the house of God. It could be prisons, hospitals. It is the humanitarian, the belief house. It's the link to the spirit world. Rules the feet, the fishes, the fishes that are swimming in opposite directions. And that is what this shift is all about, is the two opposite directions do not lead to the truth. It's when they come together and unite in this Aquarian age is when these prophecies, these visions that have been foreseen and wrote about and talked about in the collective, in the unconscious house of Pisces, the spirit is pouring in to this house of Aquarius, and the truth is going to bombard you. The closer that we get to the end of the year and next year, we're going to experience so much that you will look back and say, hindsight was 2020. But it's not, doesn't have to be the same old. The circle of life, this wheel, these energies, the chakras, this circle. We can break the cycle at any time. The moment that we truly choose one another instead of the self-gratification, the moment that we choose another to give without expecting, the moment that we choose to collectively come together in agreement, is the day that our paradigm, our whole reality of the outer world is going to change. We don't have to have death in the physical. And we don't have to be enslaved as a robot in the flesh or in Elon Musk's dream and the owl and the artificial intelligence. It's just, we've been there, done that. We're taking a new stand. This is a moment of truth with the spirit. It's huge, guys. If you want any further clarification and you like to read, join my Facebook group called His Story. It's the history of mankind's evolutionary consciousness back to God. This is where we're going to choose health over wealth. We're going to really understand the story, our collective story, where we've been and where we're going. The Aquarian Age is here. The truth rises. The Pluto return, the Chiron return in the United States is evident all around that astrology is a divine science. All right, until next time.